Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, Pete Mezzetti. Guest this evening is Paul Orsini, who's the Executive Director of the Clinton Chamber of Commerce. Paul, welcome. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
How are you, Paul?
Can you hear me? I'm fine, Pete.
There we
Okay. Thank you very much for having me now.
Hey, thanks for
Sorry I couldn't visit you in the studio.
I know. I guess for the time being, this is the way of doing the Pete Mezzetti Show, which I'm totally fine with. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been the Executive Director of the Clinton Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I've been the Executive Director for about a year and a half now.
Okay.
Was on the board of directors for approximately a year before that. I have a pharmaceutical background. I was with Pfizer for about 17 years. My last part was with the vaccines division, which was been in the news lately.
Absolutely.
And I retired from there and bought a local business in town, Doc's Bar and Grill in Clinton.
Nice.
And just kind of moseyed along for a few years, and then a friend of mine said, "Hey, I think you'd be good for the Chamber of Commerce," and joined up, and I really love it. It's a great way to meet people and to try and help people, and I look forward to doing it for a while longer, long while longer.
Absolutely. So with what's going on with the COVID, how are things going with the chamber?
Well, we're pretty much like other businesses. They've really been devastated as far as things that we can do. We sit down around this time each year and plan out the following year, and just about everything we've had to just run black marks through. The big tough ones are the big events that we do with the fireworks. Which is one of the biggest shows in Connecticut, had to be postponed, and now we get into Christmas in Clinton. Again, these are town events more than directly, business related, but it's tough to have to cancel everything, and then
right.
Just the social activities that we do to allow for interactions between businesses, the mixers that we have, and all the restaurants or the places of business that we're using for these. It's just a residual effect, down the line that once we cancel something, one thing leads to another, and we really have been at a standstill, really bad. The second and third quarters we started to come out, and we have some exciting things coming up that hopefully will work within COVID, and maybe they could actually be things that we continue to do after we get back to quote unquote normal.
Exactly. And what are some of the exciting things that we're coming up?
We got really tired of just canceling everything,
right.
and so we said, hey, there's a lot of business, and I include mine in this. I own a bar and grill, and you in the beginning it was fabulous. The community would come out to support local businesses, and it really got us through the first 2-3 months swimmingly. I mean, it was the support was overwhelming, but as time goes on and the individuals are impacted through their jobs or unemployment or whatever the cases may be, you see a little bit of fatigue fit in, and businesses started to struggle. So we got together and we said, what can we do? We're just a small organization. We have about 250 businesses in the chamber. About 60 of those are nonprofits. So
right.
We are relatively small compared to some of the others. And we sat down, and I just remembered when I was starting Docs, and you struggle. We were struggling the first couple of years, and if someone had offered me even a little bit of money, it would have seemed like $1 million at the time. And so we took that attitude and said, let's help as many businesses as we can. So we created a small business grant fund run through the chamber.
Okay.
We we're giving grants to any local business that's struggling of $200.
Okay.
Again, it's not going to pay your rent. It's not going to pay your payroll, but it's just something you can use to fill your oil tank or pay utility bill, just to take a little bit of stress off. It's just free and clear. There's no strings attached to it. And we've had great response from that. We just rolled the application out on December 14th, and luckily through some rather large donations, as well as a raffle that we're providing, we're going to be able a raffle that we're running, not providing, we're running. We're going to be able to fund somewhere between 70 and 80 to 85 businesses with these funds. So again, it's not a lot of money. It's just something that, hey, let's just make a positive contribution. And again, the like I say, the donations, the anonymous donations were fabulous, and the donations, the raffle prizes, we're having a month-long raffle where you buy one ticket for $10 and you're eligible for the prize every day for 30 days. And these prizes range from gift certificates at restaurants or some of the small craft shops that we have in town to a power wash. One of the local companies is providing a foursome at the Clinton Country Club. So there's a myriad selection of prizes that, again, for $10 you're good for 30 days, 30 raffle pulls. So, if you're really lucky, you could win 30 times.
Exactly.
So, and again, all that 100%, the chamber, nobody is getting a piece of this except for the Small Business Grant Fund.
Right. And now, how did the idea of the Small Business Grant Fund come about?
I was at a board of directors meetings. One of the meetings we had in November. The idea just popped up, and it's one of those that everybody just gravitated to, because if you remember, we started this in the March-April timeframe, so we've had monthly board meetings, and the meetings were cancel this, cancel that, we can't do this. So when something positive came up, it was very well received, and we moved rather quickly on it. We've actually had one fundraiser. We had a pop-up drive-in.
That's right.
Down at the Indian River complex on November 6th. We had a screening of Hocus Pocus that was sold out, and that's going to lead us to potentially add drive-in movies next summer, as well as the summer concerts, because it was really neat and really easy to put on. So hopefully we can keep going with that idea as well.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the PPP loan project.
Yeah, that's great news coming out of Washington today. Today being, we're filming on December 21st.
Yep.
The Congress has agreed on the new stimulus package, which will include, I believe, $280 billion in PPP loans. And you'll be allowed, those businesses who received a loan at the beginning of the year in April will be allowed to apply for a second. And they've also broadened the scope of the loans to include 501c6 companies, which the chamber is a part of, and different levels of charitable organizations can apply for this. And it's they've streamlined the process, and they've gotten rid of they've structured it so employers with more than 300 employees cannot apply for it. So you saw the horror stories back in April where some of the bigger companies, some sports teams, and like we're getting $10 million of these loans, and others were getting shut out. They stopped that. So hopefully it'll be available to more small businesses. And if I could tell anybody anything, it is talk to your local bankers now. Don't wait for everything to come out and get in that line. That I bank at People's Bank, and the last process we went early with them, and as soon as they were ready, they called everybody that had contacted them, and so it was a really easy process for us. And the people that waited, got behind on the line, and I think there were actually a bunch of people were shut out. So if I can tell anybody, apply for anything that they're going to give you now, I think it's going to be the same. I think it's going to be 2.5 months average payroll. Mm-hmm. It's you can, by following their guidelines, you can transfer that PPP loan into a grant and not have to pay anything back. So it's not free money, but it's money that could help your business keep going. And if you do the right things, you can take it as a grant instead of a loan. The only thing I would again just caution people: don't wait till the end. Talk to your bankers now. They're going to tell you right now that they don't have the information. My bankers kind of, they'd see me coming and they'd say it before I got there. But then the day it hit, we were all ready. Get your records in order. It's mainly payroll records that they're going to be looking for. Get your payroll records in order and talk to your bankers and be ready to go.
Now, what is a 50C6?
501c. So that the charitable, there's different levels of charitable or nonprofits. A 501c6 is a nonprofit that all U.S. chambers are designated. It's an IRS code designation.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because the best example of a 501c6 is the NFL.
There you
go. I was just reading part of the PPP loan, and it's 501c6 tax designation is you can apply this time. You couldn't apply last time, as long as you're not a pro football sports league. So they cut the NFL out of it pretty good. But what it is it's a someone who organizes a group of different companies, for-profit companies. So the companies, all the members of the chambers are all there, either C3s, which is a typical nonprofit, or a business, a tax-paying business. But the group that organizes that is just a nonprofit organization.
Gotcha. Now, as far as the Chamber of Commerce goes for the town of Clinton, are you guys open to, as far as membership goes, you guys are open to businesses and nonprofits? And
yeah, we're open to any business in town or in. We have members out of town as well. But like I said, we're about 25% nonprofits. There are obviously different rates. They pay a much lower rate than the for-profits. But services we provide to nonprofits would be mailing labels or room in our weekly newsletters that we provide for. We'll send email blast out to depending on the list we use, anywhere from 250 to 800 different recipients. Again, it's really down this year because although the nonprofits really need the money, a lot of these fundraising events have been canceled or postponed or changed to a virtual setup. But we'll help them with anything they do, with food drives, with gala events that they use for fundraising, with the duck race that's in town. I don't know if you ever seen the duck race, but it's a big event here. And
I actually had Tina Bascom on with me not long ago from Mezzetti.
Oh, good. But yeah.
So
she's
a good person.
Yep. And we're open to any new business in town. I'll try and visit right away. And even while they're thinking about joining, we'll put them on the list, the mailing list, so they know what's going on in town. And this small business grant is for both members and non-members. You don't have to be a member. Where that while it's great that people do join and they see the benefit that we provide, the small business grant being one of them. For something like this during this time, I think we're going to try to help as many businesses as we can.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Now, as far as the year 2021 goes, what are we looking at?
Well, the
we
event sheet
don't
is a lot
we don't
shorter
know.
than normally. No, the first quarter, I really don't see anything happening.
Right.
The small business grant raffle will go until February, and then our first big event of the year is usually the Business Expo, sometime in late March, early April.
Sure.
On the fence, we're going to plan that, but I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of that is vaccine dependent and how fast the vaccine is going to get here. But I tend to follow the science guys, and I don't think we're going to be back to I don't want to say normal, but back to a better schedule probably till the end of summer. It's going to. Speaking about getting ready, I mean, we're going to have to be ready when we can open up certain level of things. Will they open up the restaurants and allow us to have 75% of the people inside, and that'll allow us to have these mixers or different types of activities that we have. So we'll be ready. We'll plan all those just in case we get the green light, but I'm not expecting, towards the summer for us to be back, which works out well, anyways, because the outdoor activities in this past summer we did okay when the restaurants open up and the towns worked well with us. Those of us that didn't have outdoor licenses, it was a very easy process to allow for that for restaurants to work outside. And it actually kept us going. We didn't have a lot of the paperwork we had to fool with. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see that gradually as springtime comes, a lot of restaurants will open up outside, and that will we just need to get people moving, to get people to trust that it's safe to go outside. And once that happens, we'll start to gradually get better business-wise. And like I said, hopefully sometime this summer we'll be back to what we consider normal.
Absolutely. By the way, before I forget, I got to give you guys at the Chamber of Commerce all sorts of kudos, because you guys did a bang up job with the concerts this summer.
Oh, thank you. It was
actually this fall. This fall, right?
This fall and next fall, I think we're going to keep them.
I was going to say, I'm used to saying summer, but I had to correct myself. Good job.
We got lucky because the weather was wonderful, and we changed it up a little. We went with all local bands this time, and that really it was a full crowd every Sunday, and
absolutely.
And so knock on wood, I hope we're back there next October again, September, October.
Yeah.
What we like to do is we're going to try to fit drive-in movies in the summer where we used to have the concerts.
Cool.
And we're going to look into the beach to see if it's we have to work with the town and see what we can do there. But it was really neat. It was a good family fun, and it, like I said, it kicked off the small business grant fund. So we need to start doing things to raise some money, both for different causes and to keep the chamber viable as well.
Absolutely. You guys seem like you're a busy chamber.
For as little as we are, and we try to do a lot. I think it helps that there are so many great charities in town as well, because we work with each other.
Right.
And our original intent on this raffle was to have something like Saybrook's doing, where
Yep.
they with the restaurant raffle.
Right.
But I talked to one of the charitable groups, the Families Helping Families, I believe, is going to run one of those in the spring. So we didn't want to step on their toes. So there's a lot of communication between groups, which
Right.
helps keep us. We don't waste a lot of time. I have a really good one-person staff here that Lori watches, that works with me, and a pretty supportive board of directors. So
how big's your board of directors?
We have 13 right now.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
In different industries around Clinton.
I was going to say I probably know most of them.
Yeah, I would bet you do. Yeah.
I'd say. Now we have a little bit more time left, Paul. Let's talk about the grant program again.
Yeah. If you let me tell people, you can go to the chamber website,
right,
and download the application. On there, it's a simple one-page application, and then you can scan that in and email that back to us. And we received approximately 20 applications so far, and we'll start sending checks out right around the 1st of January. There's a review process. The executive board plus a couple others reviews each application, and then once a week we get an answer on who's to be funded when we do fund. It's a very simple process, and we're going to pay as many people as we can. It's not going to be one of those where we're going to be left with $30,000 and have a big party in the end.
Yeah, no.
We're going to pay out everything we can, and if there's money left over, then we will. This will stay as a grant program, and we'll just have to figure something out to depending on how long this goes. If we need another round in 3 months, then we'll do that. But none of the money is coming out of the grant program. It'll all go back.
Oh, very nice.
I do have one other thing, Pete.
Paul. Yeah, definitely go for it.
We're in the process. We're just finishing up. We tried to get this done by Christmas, but it's not going to be done. It's a portal that each member will have access to, and it'll be a little. You link through the chamber website, and it'll show all of the businesses in town, and with links to their website or Facebook page, and any kind of specials they'll be having. So we'll do it'll be there 24 hours, the full year. We're changing specials, and we'll focus on different holidays. And Valentine's Day comes, we'll have a Valentine's Day section and the like. And what we're trying to do here is foot traffic is just down so much with people not coming from out of town. And Christmas in Clinton used to drive a lot of traffic into town. The fireworks the same way.
Yeah.
So we need to increase the online presence of all of our local businesses. So again, we'll promote the heck out of this, and shop local, shop often.
Absolutely
is our motto here, and if we can get people to buy online from our local vendors instead of having the shipping issues that everybody's having with Amazon and others, we'll just push that as hard as we can. So in another it's probably going to be the week after Christmas now, but again, it's not only a holiday portal, it's to generate business throughout the year. But look for that. There'll be emails and Facebook pages to residents in Clinton about this, and shop local, shop often. That's
Paul Orsini from the Clinton Chamber. I'm sure we're about to run out of time, so I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Pete. It has been a pleasure.
Paul. Happy holidays. On behalf
Okay,
of
you
Paul
too.
Orsini, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night, and we'll see you next time.